Get your bag up, fix your credit, let's start traveling. Focus on me. What's going on, social media world? Hey man, I'm reaching out to my Facebook fam, my Instagram fam, and my new YouTube channel that's been struggling, but that's all right. I got some information that I want to share. First off, my name is Tony Clockton. Been in the game at my job for the last 20 plus years, and I decided to take a day off to share some information that I know that will change your life, just like it changed mine. I am interceding with my employees out there. Anybody that has a job that is working for someone else, I have something that I know for a fact with confidence can help you start winning the money game. Man, I'm bringing on a home-based business tax experts, world-renowned. The guy knows the business inside and out. And look, like I say, I know a thing or two about being an employee. I know a thing or two about overworked, underpaid, overtaxed, struggling. It gets to a point where that job can literally take over your mind, your body, and if it go deep enough, it's tapping into your soul, y'all. Hey, I'm talking from emotions. I'm talking from I've been there, right? So what I'm going to share with you can put you in position to not be on that 40-40-40 plan that the world system has set up on. That means you will literally work for the next 40 years and operating on 40% of your retirement dollars. Now, if you're struggling right now with 100% of your pay, how you gonna make it on 40%? Man, what I'm about to share with y'all is gonna trip y'all out because since day one, when I got it, made too much sense. But man, all you have to do is apply yourself to qualify. Very simple. Allow me, as I wrap up this machine, and hopefully when y'all come back, y'all gonna see some sweat coming off my head, but I got the home-based business expert, Dr. Ron Mueller. Let's get it.
Well, Ron, thank you for giving your time with us today, and why don't we start with what brought us together?
Well, as you know, my profession, my business, my passion is showing people with home-based businesses how to qualify for the tax breaks that they don't know about that can save them a lot of money, and showing people who don't have a home-based business how much they can save by getting into one. But it's rare, in fact, I'd say probably never have I ever come across a company like yours that takes such a proactive approach where you're teaching people the tax deductions, how to really understand what they qualify for and how to keep the right records and all that from the very beginning, from the day they join the company. And that's what impressed me about this company, and that's why I want to be here for this interview.
Well, thank you very much indeed. That's a heck of a compliment coming from you. I thoroughly appreciate that. And I know that you're going to save our viewers a whole bunch of money on their taxes. Well, why don't we cut to the chase and get to the specifics of what people need to do to get that $3,000 to $6,000 back on their taxes, so that it'll cover the 100% of the cost of starting and running a home-based business.
Well, there are really only a few simple steps. The first one, critical, of course, is start a home-based business. These are home business tax deductions, so without a home-based business, they don't qualify for any of them. So that's step one. Then, once you've got a home-based business, then they need to work the business on a regular, consistent basis, at least 3 to 4 hours a week. That's not a lot of time. And number three is they need to have a profit intent, be working the business towards making a profit. What's crucial about that is that means a person can start qualifying for the home business tax breaks the day they come into a business. So as soon as you express a profit intent, you qualify. You don't need to wait until you're profitable, which may only be a few weeks later, but it's whatever it is. And the last one is simply keep good records. You simply have to have good records to defend your deductions in the event of an unlikely event of an audit.
Okay, well, let's talk about the special home business tax deductions, because they create the refunds that allow people to increase their paycheck, right?
That's right.
There are a lot of tax deductions available to home-based businesses. What are the biggest ones?
Well, there are actually about 100 or more available to home-based business owners. But I've been teaching this and studying this information for about a decade, and you don't need to know all those. It's my conclusion that if you understand just 6, that alone will put enough cash in your pocket to come to the $3,000 to $6,000 that most people can get with a home-based business. Okay. Let's talk about what all those are, if that's all right. Sure. Let's go through those 6. The first one I want to mention, these are no particular order, but I'd like to mention first the business use of your home deduction. That's sometimes called the home office deduction. I want to mention that first because there's so much misinformation about that. There are tax pros who used to tell their tax clients, don't take this deduction, it's risky, it'll increase your chance of an audit, you'll probably lose it if you are audited. And they were right. But Congress has buttoned up, they've plugged every single hole with that tax deduction. This offers you a chance to be able to make your money go further, because when you're paying your mortgage or rent payment, a portion of that can be tax deductible as a business expense. Same thing with utilities, repairs, maintenance. A portion of all those things can be tax deductible as a business expense only if you use the business use of the home deduction. Now, the other thing this particular deduction does is it makes it clear that you have a business based in your home. So it helps you get to step 2 in the event of an audit, and that's the ability to prove you have a legitimate business. The second one I'd like to mention is business use of your personal vehicles, because that tends to be one of the biggest, if not the biggest, tax deduction category for a home-based business owner. Most people, when they really understand the ins and outs of how this works, most people can write off 70 to 80%, sometimes even more, of all the miles they put on their car as business miles. Now, what's that mean? Well, multiply that times the business tax deduction rate, which was 51.5 cents a mile the first half of 2011. It's now gone to 55.5 cents a mile the second half of the year. You multiply that by, say, 8,000 miles, you got a $4,000 to $5,000 tax deduction. So this is huge. And all you've got to write down, all you got to keep track of is the date, where you're going, why you're going there, and how many miles you're traveling. And you only have to do it for 90 days when you really understand how the rules work. So this is a great deduction. It's huge. Another one would be hiring your kids. I love this deduction because most people don't know about it. And the courts have ruled a child as young as the age of 6 can be hired by their parents in a home-based business. And when you pay your children in a home-based business, the money you pay them is tax deductible to you as wages because they're part-time employees. The money they earn from you, though, is tax-free income because minors don't have to pay taxes on their income, up to $5,700 a year. So it's tax-free to you, it's tax deductible to you, tax-free to them, but taxes are never paid on that money. This is the only way I know of under the American tax system where you get tax-free money. This is beautiful, and I love it because it's the kids working in the family environment. I can talk for an hour about the values of just hiring your kids. The next one that comes to mind would be out-of-pocket healthcare expenses. Your premiums, co-pays, annual deductibles, and all those things that aren't covered. Sometimes alternative therapies like acupuncture, what have you. Sometimes nutritional supplements. Sometimes it's chiropractic. All these things that are often not covered under your health insurance plan are your out-of-pocket expenses, right? Well, with a home-based business is the only way that you can get 100% deduction for all of those. The way that works, the short version of this, is that you, let's say it's your business, you hire your spouse to work in your business for you as an employee. She can work as little as 2 hours a week would qualify. And now that she's an employee and you're the employer, employers can give employees employee benefits, right? Mm-hmm. So you give her an employee benefit called a medical reimbursement plan, which says as long as you're working for me, I'll reimburse you for all out-of-pocket health care expenses that you incur, that are incurred by you or any member of your immediate family, which includes you and the kids. So you just made every penny of your out-of-pocket health care expenses tax deductible as a business expense. That's 4 I think we've gone through. Number 5 would be business travel. Business travel, everybody knows business travel is deductible, but what happens if you go a day or two early or stay a day or two late to visit family or friends or sightsee or what have you, or you bring your family or family members with you on the trip? So combining business with pleasure, what happens then? Well, that was fuzzy for a long time, but now the IRS has been forced by Congress to make those rules crystal clear, and now it's possible for you to plan your trip before you leave on it. If you plan it correctly, you can write off the vast majority, if not all of your trip as a business expense, even if that trip would have been a vacation. You can plan it in advance in a way that qualifies as a business trip legally under the new tax system. The last example is business entertainment. Now, the 2 things I want to mention about that: there are 2 types of entertainment expenses that you can write off. One is called business meetings, direct business discussions. The other is called associated entertainment, which is entertainment associated with the business meeting, but it's not part of it. An example would be that you and I play tennis in the morning, and then we have a business discussion over lunch at noon. The tennis would be associated entertainment. The business discussion over lunch would be the business meeting. Well, it used to be that the associated entertainment had to take place immediately before or after the business discussion in order to qualify. Now it's any time during the same 24-hour day. So that's gotten a little looser. The other thing that's changed about business entertainment is that meal type entertainment, taking somebody out to dinner. If you took me to a restaurant for dinner, since the 70s, that's only been deductible 50%. But there are now 3 ways in which you can write off 100% of it. And one example is invite me into your home instead. Instead of going to a restaurant, bring me into your home. 100% of the food and beverage that you buy for that entertainment becomes tax deductible. So that's changed. So the rules have changed, and when they changed, they got clearer and clearer. Now, when tax rules are clear, you don't have to worry about tax audits because clear rules are easy to follow, right?
Absolutely.
If you know the law, you don't have to be afraid of the law.
Absolutely. I know a lot of people maybe think of taxes and record keeping in a certain way. Would you first of all talk about the records and then how it's possible to do it in 5 minutes a day?
Exactly. In fact, the law requires good documentation to protect your tax deductions. The law does not require that documentation be difficult, however. And so I could show people with the system you're talking about how to keep IRS compliant, audit proof, penalty proof records in about the same amount of time you spend brushing your teeth every day. I mean, it's really simple because this is great, easy to use, user-friendly software. But if for those people who, when they hear the word record keeping, I've asked a lot of people, what do you think of when I say record keeping or documentation, and their eyes glaze over. And they say it's boring, it's tedious, it's frustrating, I don't understand it. But it doesn't have to be any of that. So we found a way through that, and the promise you made to your folks is exactly right. We're going to show them how to do it painlessly and in a couple of minutes a day.
Okay.
It's not difficult.
So
Critically important, but not difficult.
I'd like to ask you a question that I get asked a lot. Stay-at-home moms or stay-at-home dads often feel that they can't take advantage of these tax deductions because they don't actually receive a paycheck from any given company. Can you explain that? Is there a way that works out?
Great question. And the answer is the tax deductions generated by the home-based business can be applied against any source of income for the family. That includes the other spouse's W-2 income, as well as any other income like investment income, for example, or rental property income. So those deductions can be used for any source of income, not just the income from home-based business itself. So they're never lost.
Fantastic. So any family can really take advantage of these home-based business tax savings.
Absolutely.
Boy, look, y'all. Hey, that's why I like bringing in experts in the field that's been in the game for a minute, over a decade or two, older guy. And he always delivers this information. Look, I'm a regular dude. I work a regular job, but I'm applying the information that you just heard to my own personal life. I know everybody at my job that has a car right off, that has a home, office, rent, apartment right off. I know people that take, well, at least once or two a year, take vacations, which can be 100% tax deductible expense. Get on the right side of the tax system, allow the government to help you fund your lifestyle, right? I don't care what it is. If you join this company, it's going to teach you some things about home-based business ownership and all of the things that you can write off. Over 475 tax deductions. I'm interceding with my employees out there. He always talks about good record keeping. Y'all, I've been audited before. Our company has a tracking system called the Cash Flow Manager. It's going to walk you through everything that you can deduct as a business owner. All you got to do is just plug the information in. So many times people join this business, get to their tax preparer, and the tax preparer tells them that they can't use these deductions. But once you get educated on home-based business ownership, and you understand that you can because you've applied to qualify for the tax deductions that are readily available to you, pick up your stuff and go to somebody else. Tax professionals understand that home-based business ownership is real. Self-employment is real. You can claim deductions even if you have losses. That's why on that Schedule C, there's profits and losses. Claim those losses. Make an intent to make a profit, y'all. That's what solidifies you as a business owner. When you started your job, you had to get trained. You're going to get good at what you do. Eventually, you'll start making money. In this business, become a product of your product. We got travel, take vacations, get savings. The company sends you a check, refer to friends and family. We got credit repair. Credit repair can bring another stream of income in because if you lower your interest on the thing that you're buying, you put more money back in your pocket. The W-4 adjustment. Everybody that has a job being overtaxed at the highest tax bracket. We show you how to fix a common mistake to bring in an extra $200 to $500 by giving yourself a pay raise, which gets you cash flow positive to pay off some debt, lower your expenses, create the emergency fund, and start investing. No more 40-40-40 plan. Look, I'm going to lead by example. I am looking to create. I will create 6 figures from home to replace my current income at my job. But look, y'all, no more 40-40-40. Boy, gotta wrap this thing up. Working on the 49. I hope I've added some value to your life. This is your guy, TonyClopton.com.